It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
The following program is a hurricane special produced by ShipShape TV. If you own a boat, take out a pencil and notepad. The information you are about to receive may save your life.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape, America's favorite boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by the most complete new and used boat sales, service, and brokerage facilities, Great American Marine, and by Thomas Marine Marketing Company, the best place on the West Coast to buy or sell your used boat, and by Kenyon Power Boats, where Florida boaters shop and save.
Thanks for tuning in to ShipShape TV, the television show specifically designed for you, the boater. I'm John Greviskis, and this is my partner, Burt Dell.
Good to see you.
We're going to take a break from our format this week. We normally do a boat improvement project on a vessel ranging from fixing your gel coat to installing a set of trim tabs.
But today's show is going to be a little bit different.
That's right, Burt. Today we're going to be with Tom Dante, the Dean of Instructors from the Chapman School of Seamanship, and we're going to teach you how to secure your vessel when it comes to Mother Nature's most powerful storm, the hurricane.
So if you have a trailer boat or a dockside boat, you may want to get out a pen and paper and jot down a few notes.
Right now we need to hear a word from our sponsors, so please stick around.
Stay tuned. ShipShape will be right back.
The SureHold One Bucket System is your storage and detailing solution. Featuring an ergonomic corrosion-free rope handle, a bucket caddy to organize your supplies and lift them out with ease, a bucket grate to elevate your wash tools out of dirty water with integrated soap measuring cups, a bucket base that won't let your bucket scratch, tip, or slip, and a bucket lid that keeps tools secure and doubles as a comfortable seat. The SureHold One Bucket System, the world's best rope handle 5-gallon bucket. SureHold, clean and simple.
Welcome back. With us today is Tom Dante, the Dean of Instructors from the Chapman School of Seamanship. And Tom, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the show.
Well, this is an important topic, John.
It sure is, Tom. Now, what's the first boat that we're going to be talking about and looking at today?
We're going to be looking at a boat that's in the water at the dock. And the first thing we need to take a look at is how to secure all the deck equipment.
For your antennas, there's a couple of different ways you can secure them for the oncoming storm. In this case, we're just going to unscrew the RAN antenna, and on the other side, we're going to take our VHF antenna, fold it back, and secure it to the side of the boat with some nylon tie wraps. These are the nylon tie wraps that I was talking about that we'll be using to secure our VHF antenna. The reason instead of taking this antenna off and storing it with the other one, it's a lot harder once you have this soldered connection on the end that goes into the radio. So we'll just tie wrap it back like this so it trails into the wind, and that'll hold it securely in a very high wind, and it'll still be here after the storm.
Now we need to secure our deck anchor. This object can become a flying projectile that can damage your vessel or someone else's vessel in hurricane winds. So we'll take this off and secure it down below.
The next thing you want to do is go ahead and duct tape all your hatches closed. Now this is going to help you in two different ways. It's going to keep the wind from getting underneath the hatch and ripping it off the hinges. And secondly, it's going to keep some of those driving hurricane force rains out of your boat.
The next step in our hurricane preparation is to go ahead and cover up our ports. Now we have oval ports here. We're going to be cutting them out of a piece of plywood. Now you may want to do this way in advance because this is time consuming. When you do get them cut out and you have to install them, go ahead and slide them into the port, duct tape them over. This will keep the wind from being ripping them out, and nothing can fly into the cabin.
Your particular vessel may have covers or seat cushions. These need to be removed because in hurricane force winds, these will get ripped off in a heartbeat.
And remember, if you have a sport fish, you want to make sure that you take that fighting chair off.
Also, you may have deck boxes on board your vessel. You want to remove them and store them somewhere low in the vessel to add to the stability of the vessel. John, can you give me a hand here, please?
Sure, Tom.
Boy, this thing's full.
In case of your bimini top and your T-tops and your outriggers, you want to remove them. Studies show that if you try to go ahead and secure your bimini top, that it still grabs a lot of wind, and with that high wind, it's going to rip up your bimini top, bend the frame, and you really don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and remove it. In case of a T-top, you can go ahead and leave the metal framework, but unlace the canvas top and remove the top. This will give it a lot less area for wind to grab. And you also want to remember, do take your outriggers down because they really don't trail that well in that high of wind.
When it comes to your windows, just like at your house, you're going to want to cover them up with some good 5/8" plywood. Now basically what we're going to do is we're going to lay out this window, and it's going to be about 33.5 inches at the top and about 53 inches at the bottom and about 22 inches tall. What we're going to do is we're going to lay this out. We're going to lay out a template and cut it out in the plywood. We're going to fit it up to the window, but first what we're going to do is we're going to back out 4 of these screws. We'll press against that plywood, and we'll leave a little impression on the back of that plywood. We'll drill through it, and then we're going to get a screw the same diameter, only 5/8 inch longer. We're going to go ahead and suck it right up to the boat. This way it'll keep the wind from getting in and ripping the plywood off, and it's going to keep any flying projectiles from smashing out our windows. Let me double check these measurements. I think we're good to go.
You need to remove your external electronic equipment, GPS, depth sounder, VHF radio. In this case, I've also disconnected my coaxial cable, and I've placed a plastic baggie over the end of it. I'm going to take a little piece of duct tape and seal that up just to give it that extra protection against any water damage that may incur from rain, John.
That's an excellent point, Tom. Right now we need to go to break, but you want to stick around because when we come back, we're going to show you how to secure the inside of your vessel for the big storm.
When you seriously want your expensive wax and buffing pads rejuvenated to a like-new condition, you seriously want Sure-Hold Industries Serious Pad Cleaner. Scientifically formulated to quickly dissolve compounds and waxes from all wool pads, foam pads, microfiber towels, cotton bonnets, even blended buffing pads. All it takes is adding this Serious Pad Cleaner powder to your arsenal. Serious Pad Cleaner, another answer from Sure-Hold Industries' clean and simple solutions for detailing all your toys.
Welcome back. We're talking about hurricane preparation for your boat here on ShipShape TV. Now, Tom, what are some of the things that we need to do to prepare our boat on the inside for a storm?
Well, Bert, basically we need to take a look at all the objects that we have inside of our vessel, such as fire extinguishers, look in your shells, pots and pans, any objects in your head that once this boat starts picking up the storm surge and the heavy winds, this thing's going to be rocking and rolling all over the place. An object like this breaks out of its bracket, it's going to be flying through this vessel, and it can damage the interior of the vessel. It can possibly go through a port, and once it damages that port, now you got to worry about water coming inside the vessel. I also like to remove my cushions, my PFDs, anything that's not tied down. I like to remove my cushions and my carpeting because if I do get some water that comes in the vessel, that particular piece of equipment's not going to become damaged.
That's an excellent point, Tom. Once the inside of your vessel is completely secure, it's time to go ahead and close all of your seacocks, as well as your engine intakes, your head intakes, your generator intakes, and your live bait well intakes. And what's going to happen is, in that motion, when that storm surge comes, and you're rocking and rolling, a hose might bust loose. And so how do we alleviate the problem? We go ahead and cut it off the water right at the source. And so just shut all your valves down and you're going to be good to go.
You want to make sure that your batteries are fully charged and that they're filled with distilled water. In the event that a major storm does come, you're most likely going to use your shore power, and when that happens, all your systems are going to be relying strictly on these batteries. What I've done is I've shut everything off below deck, so that the only system that's running off of these batteries right now is my bilge pumps. When this boat starts rocking and rolling and starts shifting water on deck, I need to make sure that I have a fully charged set of batteries so that those pumps will be able to handle the water that probably go down inside my bilge.
Now, when it comes to your fuel tanks, there are two schools of thought. One is to empty the tanks and add as much buoyancy to the boat as possible. The other school of thought is to go ahead and fill them up, because if we do get hit by the big storm, fuel supply is going to be cut off. Now, if that's the case, there are a couple of things you want to check out. One is you want to make sure that your fuel cap is tightly secured. The other thing you want to look at is your fuel vent, and what I've got here is just some plumber's putty. Now remember, plumber's putty is non-water soluble. So if the boat does sink, this stuff's going to stay intact. And you want to take a nice wad and just fill up your fuel vent. That way, you're good to go.
Another thing we want to check is our bilge pump automatic float switch. I want to make sure that all my automatic switches are working. So what I'm going to do is just get down here, get this hook on here, get it underneath my switch, lift it up, and get that pump running. I know now that if I shift water down in my bilge, that automatic float switch is going to work for me. Also, take a look at all your pumps themselves, make sure they're clear of any debris so it doesn't stop that pump from doing what it's supposed to do.
Now it's time to take a look at the line you'll need. Now, if you have a boat that's 30 foot or under, you want to use a line that's 5/8 in diameter. And if you have a boat that's 30 to 40 feet, you want to use like a 3/4 inch line. And anything over 40 feet, you want to use either 7/8 or 1 inch line. Now, Tom, are there different types of rope and line available?
Certainly, John. There are several different types of line. The one that I recommend for hurricane securing is your braided nylon. This will give you some elasticity, but yet it's stronger than your 3-strand nylon. Keeping in mind that the line is only as strong as the point of contact. So one of the things that we need to check is our pilings, our cleats, both on the vessel and on the dock. And so what I want to do is go over here, step off the vessel, and I want to take a good look at each and every piling in my slip. I want to make sure that the diameter of the piling is the same all the way down into the water. What happens a lot of times as the pilings age, you'll have Dorado worms that'll come in and eat through the piling and narrow that diameter down considerably, weakening the piling. The other thing I'm going to do is shake my pilings and make sure that they're deep into the ground. If your pilings aren't secured and you get a good blow that comes in here, these things are going to be gone.
I got you. Well, we're also going to need to make sure that our cleats are good and fastened as well. Now down here we've got a recess cleat, and we want to make sure that our screws are tightly in there. Also want to check if there's a backing plate back there.
That's right, John. We want to take that cleat and we want to put our hands on it and shake it back and forth and make sure that it's got a good solid base to it.
Now what about this non-stretch rope? Do you recommend that for a hurricane?
No, I don't, because what that's going to do is once this boat starts rocking in the slip here, it's going to put a lot of stress on these deck fittings and the pilings. What I recommend is that we make sure that all our lines have chafing gear in it.
Okay, show us that.
Sure. As we go through our lines, one of the things we want to add to each one of them is a piece of chafing gear. In this case here, I've purchased this through one of my local dealers. It's made for my 5/8 inch line, and I put it on the outside here. In the case of lines that are larger than this, let's say 3/4, 7/8, and 1 inch, you can go down to your local fire department, and I found they were very helpful, and get some of their old fire hose, and that makes great chafing gear. Or for some of your smaller lines, such as this, you can also use old garden hose.
Tom, that's a great point. So you want to make sure that you split the hose, you fit it over the rope, and then you put it into the point of contact.
Right, and it's tie each end of it down too, so as these lines start to pull back and forth, that this chafing gear is not going to slip. And now all the chafing is going to be taken up on this chafing gear.
Critical information, Tom.
Don't sail away. ShipShape will be right back.
When it's time to clean up those nasty, dirty, grungy dock lines, then it's time for you to pick up today the new rope and cord brush from Surehold Industries. The adjustable, flexible design easily wraps around half-inch to 1-inch, twisted or braided ropes, power cords, garden or bilge hoses, even your stainless steel rub rails. Use the might of this new brush with the cleaning power of Surehold's SMC cleaner. Simply soak, then brush, sparkling clean. So get scrubbing today.
Today on What's Hot on the Water, we're going to look at probably the most classic boat to ever hit the surface of the water. We're talking about the 22-foot limited edition Blackhawk Series Donzi. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida at Great American Marine with my good friend Randy Inch. And Randy, I just love this boat. Tell me about it.
Well, it's a 22-foot, 24-degree deep V, has the 502 cubic inch Merc Cruiser, 415 production horsepower, and has the Blackhawk drive.
We are talking serious power with this boat. How fast will it go?
She'll run over 80 miles an hour right out of the box.
Holy cow. Now, this boat is not for everybody. This is the type of boat that somebody gets when they really want to get a lot of looks. What I like about the boat, Randy, is, you know, they've gold-plated, 24-karat gold-plated all the hardware on the boat. I mean, this is serious stuff here.
All right. She is a limited edition, one of 40 boats. It is a custom Emerald paint job signed by the gentleman in Sarasota who designed and painted all 40 of the boats. She is definitely a one-of-a-kind. Even though there were 40 of these particular boats built, you're probably not going to see one on the water when you're out there because it is a big country.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, how many people will the boat seat?
Seating comfortably is five adults.
I've got you. I really like the rosewood helm. That's nice. What kind of stereo does the boat have?
It has a Clarion stereo, has VDO gauges. The 24-karat gold that you mentioned is all the way down to the gauges themselves are 24-karat gold plated.
Nice. You know, Donzi is like the Harley Davidson on the water. They're like the Ferrari out there. I mean, this is a machine to be reckoned with. What kind of price are we looking at with this boat?
Well, this boat has a catalog price of around $60,000. And that is everything you see on this boat is all standard equipment. There are no options. You can get into the boat for around $46,000.
Unbelievable. Nice. Now, the Classic Series, Donzi Classic Series, they make a 16-foot, an 18-foot, and the 22-foot. Let's talk about that 16-foot. This is the same body style that Donzi came out with in 1965. Is that correct?
It's the same boat, other than some minor changes for seating, some minor dash changes. It is the exact same hull and deck that was unveiled at the New York Boat Show in 1965.
Well, you know, when you're talking to people and you're talking to boat owners about what is that ultimate boat that they want, Donzi comes up quite often. But let's talk price. What kind of, how much money are we talking about to get into a Donzi?
Well, the 16 Classic that we mentioned is a 4.3 LX Merc Cruiser, 190 horsepower. She will run over 60 miles an hour, and we have some specials on that boat right now at $15,727, including a free aluminum trailer.
That is fantastic. Under $1,000 a foot for probably the most classic boat to ever hit the surface of the water. Randy, how do we get to a Great American Marine?
Great American Marine in St. Pete is off of 22nd Avenue South. We're 6810 Gulfport Boulevard. We also have a Sarasota store.
Okay, where's that?
That is about a mile south of the airport on Tamiami Trail.
And you have a Naples location?
Correct, in downtown Naples at Tin City.
If you're looking for Donzi, talk with this man, come by, touch, feel, experience it. You'll be glad you did. Randy, good seeing you.
Nice to see you, John.
Thanks for being on the show.
John, we've talked about lines. Now let's take a look at the slip that the vessel's actually going to be in. What I've done here is I've drawn out the slip, and I've put the points of contact here. I've got a piling here, 2 cleats on the seawall, and another piling here. Next thing I'm going to add to the picture, of course, is the vessel. I'll draw my boat in like that. Okay, and I want to add each point of contact that's on my vessel. So I've got 2 stern cleats, got on a midship cleat right here, and I've got a port and starboard bow cleat. So I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cleats. Now what I want to start thinking about doing is drawing in how I want to lay my lines out. So I'm going to put 2 stern lines. Of course, these lines will keep the vessel from moving this way, port and starboard. It'll also keep it from moving out. I'm going to put in a spring line from this cleat to here. I'm going to run another line, spring line from here to here. I'm going to run a spring line from here to here, one from here to here, one from here, and one from here. And that's the type slip that I'm in right now with this particular vessel. I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. Okay. Notice that I've only run single lines.
Okay, now why couldn't you double up?
Well, one of the things they found in Hurricane Andrews and several other hurricanes is that when people double up their lines, they tend to go to a lighter size diameter. And when it comes time to actually tightening these lines up, usually one line's going to take more stress than the other. So as that hurricane wind starts to come in and the surge starts to come in, one line's really going to take most of the surge, and it's not going to be a heavy diameter line. The lighter diameter line will part, and then the second lighter diameter line will also part. You're better off going with a heavier single point line.
Now, Tom, you were talking about that surge, and a lot of damage does happen when that surge comes in because there's not enough room from the back of the boat to the seawall.
Correct.
Now, how much room do you recommend there be?
Okay, well, in this case right here, I'm looking at approximately a 40-foot vessel. I'm leaving about 5 feet between the swim platform, which extends out here, and the actual seawall.
Okay.
I want to leave that in there so as this surge comes in and as the tide starts to rise and as the wind starts to maybe want to blow my vessel back on top of that seawall, that's not going to happen because that's how a lot of boats were lost. The surge came in, they went up over the seawall, and as the tide went out or as they started to pound up and down on that wall, it just literally destroyed the boats.
Let's talk about how much flex should be in the line. You don't want them real taut.
No, as you can see here, we've laid all our lines out so that they have a certain amount of slack in them. So as the surge starts to come in, we've got that amount of flexibility in our braided nylon.
Okay. Now, what about fenders?
Okay, fenders are very important. You want to put as many fenders out as you can. Want to hang them from each one of your cleats if you can. Any place where the boat may ride up on a piling or a dock or whatever, you want to put those fenders out. And in the case here, you can see we put a major one out on our seawall. So if this boat should start to get back there a little bit too close, that's going to take some of that pounding up.
Now, can you anchor the boat? I mean, you're in a slip. Can you throw out an anchor?
Yes, you can. It depends on the type of slip that you're in and how wide the channel is. In the particular channel that we have here, it's very narrow, so it would be kind of tricky to put 2 anchors out because I can't get enough scope or length of line out to really be effective.
But say you did have room, you throw out some anchors.
Right.
Now, you're responsible for those lines. You have to mark them.
Right. In a case where there's a wide enough channel, I can put out 2 anchors, and I want to put a little buoy on the end of each one of those anchors that will float at the surface, so it'll mark where those anchors are, just in case someone at the last minute decides to book out of the marina or whatever. They'll know where those anchors are, and they won't run them over and cut them.
We're about out of time for this week's show, so we're going to have to extend our hurricane preparation special until next week. But real quick, here's a list, a recap of the equipment you'll need when securing your vessel at dock.
Duct tape to seal your hatches and vents, tie wraps to secure any antennas, plywood for your ports and windows, C-clamps, a knife, a hydrometer to check your batteries, something to seal your vents, putty, chipboard, paper, rigging tape, good line, various thicknesses. And finally, chafing equipment.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show.
And remember, if you're docked at a local marina, take time to do the necessary preparations before the storm hits.
You tune in next week.
See ya.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape boat gear